Good morning, gentlemen. I'm going to start with a reflection from Pope Francis, which beautifully illustrates our potential and the choice that each one of us has to make as to how we are going to live our lives. I read it today as our prayer to be better people and a better community. It goes like this. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult it is. Life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you. Those are challenging words indeed, and I hope that you can think on them for a long time to come and decide how they might influence how you choose to live your life. Today I'm taking in the view over the Lavala field from the college pavilion balconies. I'm fully cognizant of the fact that tomorrow we would have been playing Jeppe Boys High at home in our winter fixture. This is obviously not to be at this time, but I'm excited by the fact that from next week we will start opening the campus to you boys as we begin our return to school program. Your parents will have received information on this yesterday and will know that each family has choice as to whether they return on the designated days or whether they continue schooling in the online space. We worked hard to make sure that you will not lose out, whichever choice you and your parents might make, as our online program will continue as it has been happening so successfully in the #St. David's online space. Only this time, some of your synchronous classes and lessons with your teachers will come directly from the classrooms, where boys who have returned will also be present. This is called the blended program, which allows on-campus and online to operate in parallel at the same time. We are using a writing pad called Wacom Intuos M with Bluetooth to ensure that what boys in class see on the whiteboards will also fill the screens of those boys who have continued in the online space. Mrs. Kennedy and I have tested the technology this week with Mr. Stagg and Mr. Rogers, who we thank so much for their continuing support in our growing technology capacity. And we know that irrespective of your choice about returning to school, you will all continue to receive a quality educational experience that is second to none. In addition, we are busy finalizing the health protocols that will bring you back onto campus safely, and we will share your training and the process that you will follow when you are dropped on campus in the weeks when you are due back. These include a screening in Thatch 1, which will have a thermal temperature scanner with facial recognition and includes sanitization stations before you move to your classroom spaces. More detail will come on that later. So a reminder for all of you of your return dates, which are as follows. Grade 12s will be first back, and your first day back will be next Friday, Friday the 5th of June. Matrics will be back on campus 2 or 3 days a week for the blended program and fully online for the other days. Grade 11s will return on Thursday the 18th of June, once we have settled into the rhythm of the blended program. Grade 10s will return on Thursday the 25th of June, Grade 9s on Tuesday the 7th of July, and Grade 8s on Friday the 10th of July. These dates may change depending on government regulations and also of our experience of the on-campus blended program. They might be earlier. I must remind you, however, that coming onto campus, although it will be wonderful, and seeing your friends again will be remarkable, I'm sure, and it'll allow you the chance to connect again, not only with your friends, but with most of your teachers. It will also, of necessity, be quite different to what it was in March. It's an evolving process, coming back to campus, according to lockdown levels and regulations, and some of the things you might have enjoyed back then will simply, unfortunately, not be available at the beginning. There will be specific rules to follow, maintaining physical distancing, the wearing of masks at all times, and we'll be supplying you each with 2 different colours for wearing on specific days. Apart from the arrival protocols, you'll need to be picked up within 15 minutes of your last lesson. You'll need to bring your own food to school. Unfortunately, gentlemen, no tuck shop open, certainly not at the beginning, and no Uber Eats or Mr. Delivery allowed on campus. But what is new, and I emphasize it to you today, is that from Friday the 5th of June, You will all be required to be clean shaven for all your classes again, whether online or on campus. That's every boy. This is part of a process of getting you used to normality again, of moving back into our normal operations and becoming a schoolboy. I ask you to ensure that you comply fully. We are, however, relaxing all haircut requirements, which you may be pleased to hear. Knowing that barbers and hairdressers are not permitted to operate officially, we require your hair just to be clean, to be neat, and to be out of your face at all times, whether on campus or online. But we're not going to ask for a specific length at this stage. Also, for June and July, that is until the end of term, all boys returning to campus will wear civvies and not school uniform. This is to make it easier to clean your clothes every single day, which is part of the health protocols that we must follow. Our key element is, of course, that relationships are important at St. David's, and respect for each other the most important part of the process. Your academic, your sporting and your cultural programs will continue online as currently, but we will start introducing some campus physical exercise as the regulations allow. Already at level 3, some of that might be possible. I remind you especially of the expectation I have in your classroom space of academic honesty, and more importantly even of academic rigor in your preparation for those exams and assessments, and just in terms of assignments that you might be submitting. Whether you're on campus or online, it is exactly the same, and it's just as important that what you present as your own is from your dedicated hard work and learning. Now, gentlemen, is the time to show your character and what a Marist man is made of. Today's assembly will bring you music performances by Mohammed Tukan and Tobin King, and input from members of the college executive. I'm going to hand over now to Mohammed Tukan, who will be playing Forgive Me by Maher Zain. Mohammed is in grade 12 and a vocal soloist for the St. David's Band. After him, Mr. Ferreira will have some cultural announcements, and then Mr. Bauer and Mr. Ireland will highlight the details of the Champagne Day celebrations on Thursday, 4th of June. While they will not necessarily be the same as previous years when you would have filled these fields behind me with your energy and your enthusiasm, and we will also not be able to enjoy the bunny chars and the curry that Mrs. Murray and her team always prepare for us. But we will continue to celebrate our founder, St. Marcelin Champagne, who himself had to cope with many challenges in his life, just as we are being called to do now. We'll then move on to Mr. Smith, who will announce the service awards, Mrs. Kennedy, who will reveal the academic top 10, and finally I will conclude with academic blazers and the awards in that space.
I'm about to lose the battle across the line. I'm about to make another mistake, and even though I try to stay away, everything around me keeps dragging me in, and I can't help thinking to myself, what if my time would end today, today, today? Can I guarantee that I will get another chance before it's too late, too late, too late? Forgive me. My heart is so full of regret. Forgive me. Now is the right time for me to repent, repent, repent. Am I out of my mind? What did I do? Oh, I feel so bad. And every time I try to start all over again, my shame comes back to haunt me. I'm trying hard to resist. Temptation is surrounding me, surrounding me. I wish that I could find the strength to change my life before it's too late, too late, too late. Forgive me. My heart is so full of regret. Forgive me. Now is the right time for me to repent, repent, repent.
Good day, gentlemen. In 1966, amid the armed struggle against apartheid and the subsequent crackdown by the apartheid regime, the famous American politician Robert Kennedy committed the following words to a speech which he delivered when he visited South Africa, hoping to effect some positive change. I quote, "There is a Chinese curse which says, 'May he live in interesting times.' Like it or not," Mr. Kennedy continues, "we live in interesting times. These are times of danger and great uncertainty, but they are also more open to the creative energy of man than any other time in history." End quote. Now, I hope these words will serve as encouragement to you when you decide how to respond to this current predicament. While we must never forget and never trivialize the great suffering of so many people out there at the moment, I do believe we should recognize the current opportunity to reimagine, to reconceptualize, to visualize, to conjure up, to dream. I'm very proud that at St. David's we focus on providing a great variety of platforms for you to do exactly that. Gentlemen, you ought to know by now that the arts teachers have generated a range of very exciting arts activities in which you are all invited to participate. Grade 8 and 9 boys, remember it is compulsory for you to do so. So go to the online playbook, check out the arts and culture section for more detail. In that tough time back in the 1960s and 70s, it was often only by the great power of creativity that many people from many different backgrounds were able to unite against the apartheid system. Amazing artists like Hugh Masekela, Ethel Fugard, Miriam Makeba, Dumile Feni, Barney Simon, Ernest Cole, to name but a few, used their incredible artistry to create a blueprint for a free and fair South Africa. In this very difficult time, gentlemen, what are you doing with your creativity?
Good morning, gents. I hope you're having a good Connect Day so far, and hopefully you're making connections with people that you haven't had connection with in a while. Also use this opportunity to catch up on a bit of work, that stuff that you've put by the wayside. Obviously, this time, some of you have thrived, some of you have struggled. However, I think the one thing for everyone, including your teachers, is the fact that we've all been pushed into an uncomfortable area or an uncomfortable zone. I maintain that being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. It's something that we should strive for. It's something where we learn. It's something where we have to adapt to become a better person. Your teachers, when we started this, were pushed into an extreme uncomfortable situation, moving from the traditional schooling to an online system. And now I'm sure they will adapt again once we move into what we call the blended system. Next week, we move into our celebration week of Champagne Day. And on Thursday, we'll have a little bit of fun and another Connect Day. Marcelin's vision was what he wanted people to be educated. He wanted everyone to have equal opportunity and people to follow and push through this. And I think your teachers have really exemplified this. For the past few weeks, I've been watching the docu-series The Last Dance. This was the inner workings of the Chicago Bulls during the 1990s, and more so around the person who was Michael Jordan. What struck me most was the attitude that Michael Jordan had towards sport and everything that he did. There was this fire that he continually had. Even though he was regarded as the greatest basketball player ever to have played the game, he somehow just felt that he needed to be better. He also strived to make sure that everybody around him was better, so he pushed them. Sometimes to an extreme measure, and sometimes excessive measures. But he always found a way. He always dug deep and found a way to overcome any tough situation. We are in this situation for a little while longer, and we will continue to be on this new system. I think the traditional way of schooling is probably a thing of the past, but who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. All we do know is that we need to find a way to overcome our situation, and we need to push through and try new ways of overcoming whatever comes our way. I really want you to concentrate not on the marks and not on the assessments that your teachers are going to give you. I want you to think about the skills that are vital in this scenario that you've been given and are gaining, particularly that ability to work independently. I think for many of us, it becomes too easy when we have this reliance on someone else to get knowledge and to self regulate. There's no one pushing you. Your parents might be pushing you at home, but ultimately, it all comes down to you and being able to deliver on that work. That said, I'd like to acknowledge one of our matrics for their outstanding leadership, particularly in the peer counseling space. So for half colors for leadership, we congratulate Michael Younger. In conclusion, we move forward into this next phase of blended learning, and our expectations of you are quite simple. Number one, academic honesty. It is a non-negotiable. All the work that you produce needs to be your own. Don't be afraid to be wrong. I think too often we strive to always be right. Being wrong is important. A good work ethic, a love of work is really important at this time. Push yourselves harder than you've ever been pushed before. And clear communication skills. Gents, don't be afraid to contact your teacher if you don't know something. It is vitally important, and I promise you, you'll be surprised. And keep to deadlines and be organized. Gents, I wish you all the best and have a good week.
Good morning, gentlemen of St. David's. Champagne Day is celebrated annually on the 6th of June, which is next Saturday. Now at school, we'll be celebrating on Thursday, the 4th of June. We would like to challenge you boys to follow in the steps of Marcelin Champagne. Now there are various ways in which each of us can do that. From the sports department, we are challenging each of you to walk or run a 4-kilometer distance. Now, why 4 kilometers specifically? Well, that is the distance from the original Marist house in the village of Lavala to the Hermitage, which is on the banks of the River Gier. Marcelin Champagne and the other Marist brothers would have walked that 4-kilometer route regularly. This challenge will also serve as our inter-house cross-country event. Your finishing times are not important. This event is all about participation. Every boy who completes the 4-kilometer distance in under 1 hour will qualify as a finisher, and the house with the most finishes will win the event. An average person can walk 5 kilometers in an hour, so each of you should manage the 4-kilometer distance in that time without any difficulty. You will be required to log your 4-kilometer distance. I suggest you use the app Strava. There are other apps available, but Strava seems to be the most popular one, and you can get a free basic version of that app, and then you would take a screenshot of your result. I completed my 4-kilometer run on the school fields, specifically on the Lavala and the Gier fields. Now, firstly, because you would normally have been playing inter-house soccer on those fields on Champagne Day. And secondly, because the field names are significant to us. Remember that Lavala is the village where Champagne started the Marist brothers, and it is the site of the original Marist house. And then the River Gier flows past the Marist Hermitage building, which is a bit further down in the valley, and that's where those two places are where Marcelin Champagne would have spent much of his time. The sports coaches are looking forward to the day when we can continue with school sport on the St. David's campus again. Until then, remember to keep exercising at home. When the opportunity to play sport comes around again, you must be ready and prepared, both physically and mentally. Enjoy your week, gentlemen, and have fun on Champagne Day.
Good morning to the staff and boys of the college. I must say, it's very strange doing a recorded assembly. And up front, I must thank Mr. Leo Stagg for giving me a crash course in creating a YouTube video. I do hope that all of you are healthy, happy, and thriving in this lockdown. Today it's my privilege to announce the latest service awards. I'm so proud of the spirit that keeps you boys motivated and positive during this difficult time. I'm also extremely proud of all of you who continue to do your service, albeit online. Before announcing the service awards, I appeal to all of you, as part of this term's outreach project, to start germinating avocado seeds as part of our Mandela Day initiative. If every boy at St. David's could grow at least 2 avocado seedlings, we could gift a disadvantaged community with gardens that provide not only shade and beauty, but also highly nutritious food. The plan is for the grade 11s to plant the avocado seedlings when they participate in the Habitat for Humanity project later on in the year. On to the service awards. Community service. The present position is that half colours are worn by Ntando Kuwula, Sibusiso Baloyi, Harry Nicolau, Ntokoza Shabalala, and Mohammed Tokan. And full colours in community service are held by Robert Laithwaite and Decent Nkola. New awards in community service. Half colours for over 120 hours, Massimo Aruja, Sebastian Buerta, Amani Bukanga, Aidan Dutoy, Stefan Fourie, Josh Jacobs, Liam Kelly, Lechai Mueng, Dayan Munsami, Vasily Mutsuris, Luca Nicholas, Matthew Shahim, Jacob Welbeck, and Dimitri Yalouris. And new full colours in community service for over 250 hours are awarded to Thomas Goddard, Christopher Michael, and Mohammed Tokan. School-based service awards. The current position, full colours, are held by Declan Pegg and Andrew Kruger. And new awards, full colours in school-based service, to Kevin Usman for in excess of 300 hours in photography, and to Connor Grayling for in excess of 300 hours in sound and lighting. Well done to all the new award recipients. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful weekend.
Good morning to our St. David's family. If I had asked my grade 12 maths class the following question at the start of the year, what is the probability of there being a global pandemic in 2020 that would suspend life as we know it? I'm sure the answer would have been 0 or a number very close to 0. My follow-up question could have been, what is the probability of successfully adapting to an online teaching environment in the event of such a pandemic? Again, the answer most likely would have been, it's not going to happen. Well, if this had been a probability test for marks, I guess we all would have failed. The reality is that we have successfully adapted to an online teaching environment as a result of a global pandemic. We attribute this success to a collaborative effort from all spheres of the school, and it is appropriate that we acknowledge the boys' commitment and their resilience, the parents' ongoing support and encouragement, and the staff's unbelievable dedication to their roles as educators. The learning curve for all involved has been a steep one and remains ongoing as we move to the next phase of this journey. The life skills we are learning, and especially our boys, will equip them as the generation to forge a new path for humanity. We are not following the road less or more travelled, but rather the road never travelled before. This morning, we celebrate the achievements of our top academics in each grade. Although these circumstances are unprecedented, the significance of these awards are no less meaningful. I will begin with the Grade 8 Top 10 for Term 1. In 10th position, Christopher Correa, Jack Brady, Gregory Price, Oliver Buerta, Aaron Butt, Michael Elphick, Dylan Howe. In 3rd position, Jensen Welton. In 2nd position, Jonathan Penomula. And in 1st position, with an average of 92.4%, Theo Dreyer. Grade 9. In 10th position, Peter van Niekerk, Alessandro Gasparotto, Ryan Day, Joseph Shu, Paleantonio Mariano, Andrew Kleinhans, Sasha Costa. In 3rd position, Sean Honeyball. In 2nd position, Kwawe Manala. And in 1st position, with an average of 88.3%, Nicholas Rautenbach. Grade 10. In 10th position, Ross Mitchell, Alexander Rahana, Yash Desai, Ethan Khalil, Matteo Buxman, Connor Gaisley, Keegan Lofty-Eaton. In 3rd position, Stephen Curry. In 2nd position, Jason Bayless. And in 1st position, with an average of 91.8%, Daniel Dyer. Grade 11. In 10th position, Rohan Butt, Mateen Ishmael, Joshua Maroon, Warwick Brown, Jacob Walbeck, Joshua Dacre, Dale van der Merwe. In 3rd position, Matthew Shahim. 2nd position, Lucas van der Merwe. And in 1st position, with an amazing 97.2%, Mohammed Zidan Kasim. And finally, the grade 12s. In 10th position, Sibusiso Baloy, Maxwell Meyer, Brendan Craven, Duncan Scott, Abay Harry Paul, Jaden Murray, Declan Pegg. In 3rd position, Vasily Matsouris. In 2nd position, Luke Lawson. And in 1st position, with an average of 93%, Nicholas Carr. Congratulations to all the top 10 achievers. I wish you all a happy Connection Day, a day to catch your breath. Thank you.
I also offer my congratulations to all the boys who receive awards today and to the academic top 10. That type of work and that type of effort is always commendable, and I hope you'll all keep going on it. Following on that top 10 and following the academics, I'm proud today to make the academic awards that come at the end of term 1. At present in grade 12, half colours for academics are held by Abay Harry Paul, Reese Honink, Maxwell Meyer, Wilweta Paulsen, Arav Surgeon, and Liam van der Walt. Today we award 9 new half colours for academics. Half colours is awarded to any boy who achieves a combined aggregate of 75% in any 2 consecutive mark order reports from the end of grade 11 to term 3 of his grade 12 year. This aggregate must include an examination mark. New half colours in academics are awarded to the following: Jean Paulo Baish, David Burgesson, Joshua Black, Aidan DeToy, Caden Edwards, Robert Lathwaite, Diane Munsani, Mohammed Tukan, and Luca von Ponset. Congratulations to all of those boys. And we move on to full colours. The present position is that full colours in academics are held by Nicholas Carr, Brendan Craven, Luke Lawson, Jaden Murray, Vasily Matsouris, Declan Pegg and Duncan Scott. Today we also award 9 boys new full colour awards in academics. Full colours is awarded to any boy who achieves a combined aggregate of 78% in any 2 consecutive mark order reports from the end of grade 11 to term 3 of his grade 12 year. This aggregate must include an examination mark. Today we award new full colours to Sibusiso Baloy, Abai Haripol, Reese Hunink, Maxwell Meyer, John Michael, Nkubeko Mtabela, Vilwetu Paulson, Arav Sojan, and Liam van der Walt. Congratulations to those 9 boys for their new full colours in academics. As a result of those full colours and the other full colours that have been awarded through this term, we move on now to further Blazer Awards. And you'll remember that there are 3 ways you can be awarded a Blazer at St. David's. There's the Head Prefect Blazer for the head of school each year. Then there's an academic specific honours blazer, and there are general honours blazers which call for full colours in 3 different areas. As you know, and as we practiced last week when we awarded general honours to John Kelly, we would normally make sure that our Champagne Hall knows for sure how proud you are of your brothers who have awarded or been awarded these blazers. So I encourage you to take a moment as we do it today, wherever you are, to stand and to applaud the achievement for no less than 5 boys today, 4 receiving academic specific honours and 1 achieving general honours as a result of full colours in academics. New specific honours in academics are awarded for any boy who achieves a combined aggregate of 86% in any 2 consecutive mark order reports from the end of grade 11 to grade 12's term 3. This aggregate must include an examination mark. So today we congratulate the following boys for new colours, new specific honours in academics. Blazer Awards, firstly to Nicholas Carr, new specific honour blazer to Luke Lawson, academic blazer to Vasily Matsouris, and finally an academic blazer to Declan Pegg. Congratulations to those gentlemen. And then finally, move on to the General Honours Blazer for today. And in General Honours, we have 3 boys currently holding the General Honours Blazer. That's Joshua Black, Decent Nola, and John Kelly Okonkwo. Today, for full colours in hockey, in drama, and in academics, General Honours is awarded to Reese Hunink. We congratulate Reese as well. So gentlemen, wherever you are, let's just momentarily stand and applaud Nicholas, Luke, Vasily, Declan, and Reese on these Blazer Awards. This brings us to the end of our Connection Day Assembly, and it will be followed by time with your tutors attending a house meeting. So enjoy the rest of the day to catch your breath, to take time for yourself, and to connect with your family in meaningful ways, to rest and to ready yourself for our celebration of Champagne Day next week and the academic program, which will continue online and soon, gentlemen, on campus as well. We're going to play out with an appropriate oldie sung by Tobin King in grade 9, Fly Me to the Moon, made popular by Frank Sinatra long before all of you were actually even born. So as we move to new spaces, gentlemen, they may not be the moon, but each of you can aim for it. And by giving yourselves fully into the service of others, as Pope Francis encourages us, we will indeed find who we truly are. So thank you to all of you for listening, and have a wonderful weekend. Assembly is ended.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. with song, let it sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song, let it sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true.